I'm Casey, and I have a crush on food. And today I have a crush on tres leches cake, which is very popular where I am from. But if you're not familiar with it, it's kind of a spongy cake that you pour 3 different kinds of milk into, and the cake absorbs the milk, and then you put whipped cream on top. It's delicious. So that's what we're going to make today. So the cake part is actually pretty easy. It's very simple. We're going to take 6 eggs separated. So I have my 6 egg whites and I have my 6 egg yolks that I've already separated out. But if you don't want to worry about separating them, they sell this great thing at the grocery store called just egg whites. And you could use that if you wanted to. You still have to separate out the egg yolks though. And we're going to use 1 cup of flour and 3/4 cup of sugar that we're going to divide evenly in between the egg whites and the egg yolks. So let's start. So we're going to add our 6 egg whites, and I have my heavy duty mixer here because we could put it on high and not even touch it, and it'll mix up the egg whites and they'll be nice and fluffy. So I'm going to dump those in there, and half of this sugar, which is like 1/4 of a cup plus 1/8 of a cup if you wanted to measure it. I'm just kind of guess. That's what I usually do. I'm going to turn it on, and the egg whites are going to get real fluffy and stiff peaks are going to form, and that's when you know that you're done mixing the egg whites. So put it on high. First, make sure the bowl is in the right position. Then put it on high. So I got the egg whites all mixed up and fluffy, and I'll show you those in a minute. And here I have my 6 egg yolks, and I actually transferred them to a bigger bowl because this is going to be the main bowl. We're going to put everything in here, so start with the bigger bowl. I'm going to put the rest of the sugar in here, and we're going to just blend this up. It's not going to take too long to mix the egg yolks and the sugar. Okay, done with the egg yolks, and you can beat them on high just until they're kind of pale yellow in color. Sugar's all mixed in. So now we're going to fold the egg whites in and alternate it with the flour. And the flour is sifted, so if you don't have a sifter, you don't have to sift it, it's alright. But it's a cup of flour. I'm going to show you here what these egg whites look like. They're kind of fluffy. See that? So we're going to put some egg whites, just, spoon them in there. And you fold it, you don't want to mix it. You want to be very delicate with the egg whites, because that's what makes the cake really spongy. So just use your best judgment. Put a little of this, a little of that. And we're going to do this until everything is mixed in. So I finished mixing up all the batter, and you can see it's really light and kind of fluffy. So I have the oven preheated to 350, and I have my springform pan here. That's the kind of pan that you're going to use for this cake. And I already coated it with cooking spray. So you can use butter and flour if you want to coat the pan. I use cooking spray today. And I'm just going to pour this in here, and we're going to bake it for about 30 minutes. So it doesn't take too long. There we go. Kind of jiggle it. I like to pound it. My mom used to do that, and I asked her one time, why do you do that? And she was like, I don't know. It's a good reason to pound something. All right, let's stick this in the oven. I pulled the cake out of the oven. It's all done. And it's cooling here on a wire rack, so when you pull it out, you can leave it on the wire rack for about 10 minutes. So while it's cooling, you can mix the milks together. So I already put 1 cup of heavy cream in here and a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. And I'm going to add a 12-ounce can of evaporated milk in here. And we're just going to whisk this together. And we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And if you don't know already, I like Mexican vanilla. This is a Mexican cake, so it works. Alright, so just whisk this a little bit. It shouldn't be hard to combine them all together. Now, we're going to pour this over the cake while it's still in the springform pan. So I put it on a plate because it leaks. So that's a little tip. You don't want it to leak all over the place. First though, we have to poke holes in the cake. So you can use a skewer, any kind of skewer, and you're gonna I just start at the outside and I go in a circle 1 inch apart, and then I go in 1 inch and I go around until you've covered the whole top of the cake, and you want to put the skewer all the way through to the other side and, you know, make a decent sized hole so that the liquid will go into the cake. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm done poking the cake. I don't know if you can see that, but quite a few holes. So I'm going to pour our milk mixture over it. And you're going to want to let it sit about 30 minutes or so while it absorbs the milk. So you stop, let it sink in, pour some more. You may think that to yourself, this girl has a crush on desserts, I think, more than food. And it's true, I do like my desserts. But really, I have a crush on good dessert because I don't eat it that often. And I hate it when you're looking forward to dessert and it's not good. So that's why I have some good dessert recipes on my website, because I think that if you're going to make dessert, it should be good. We've almost got all this poured in, and I mean, it's going to take a little bit to soak in. So let it sit, be patient, and then we'll finish it off with some whipped cream. Here's our cake. I took the outside off already, and you can see there's some liquid left over, so not all of it gets absorbed every time. I've made this several times, and sometimes it absorbs all the liquid, and sometimes there's some left over. So I'm going to transfer to a clean plate, and then we'll make the whipped cream. So I got my mixer out again, and when you're making whipped cream, you can put your bowl, use a metal bowl, and your whisk or your beaters in the freezer for about 5 minutes and get them really cold, and it helps to whip up the cream faster. So I already did that. So we're going to put a cup of heavy cream, 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar, and half a teaspoon of vanilla. Or more. It's okay. Vanilla's yummy. We're going to position the bowl correctly. We're going to put it on high, and it's going to whip it. It's going to be awesome. The whipped cream is done, and this is one of those cakes that you want to serve, you know, as soon as possible. So making it the day of is a good idea. If you can't make it the day of, make it the day before, but don't put the whipped cream on. And you can put it in the fridge without the whipped cream on, and then you can put the whipped cream on right before you're going to serve it. So we're just going to spread the whipped cream around, get it all over the top and the sides. And the great thing about it is it's going to look really nice without working too hard. There we go. We're done. And if you want, you could put some fruit on top, maybe some strawberries or raspberries. That would look really pretty if you put some raspberries in the middle. Sometimes I put sprinkles on top because I think it looks festive, but those kind of bleed because of the dye. But fruit is the safe topping to make it a little bit more attractive. So tres leches cake is really good, and if you've never tried it, it's pretty easy to make, and I hope that I've shown you that. So make tres leches cake and enjoy it.